Well, I think the power framework, as I mentioned with the PO-LING framework, I think resonates because it gives you a framework in which to understand how you actually operate. So I think any of these frameworks that give you that ability, I think are really impactful. I think if I think about the power framework in particular, I think the priorities piece starting off is super important because if you don't actually understand your priorities, whether it's personal priorities, business priorities, moral priorities, as a starting point for anything that you do in your career, then I think you're going to be lost. I do think having the energy and the resources to continue is very, very important. Whether you're a corporate leader, whether you're a diversity leader, whether you're a business leader in any other sort of sphere or an entrepreneur. With me personally, I think running a global organization with a mini, micro, amazing staff is really encouraging, exciting, and challenging. I'm always amused when we're in business meetings with senior business leaders or CEOs who see the work that Out Leadership does around the world, the impact we've been able to have, the C-suite leaders we've been able to engage, and they say, well, gosh, how big is your team? And I generally ask them to guess, and they guess between 25 and 35, and I have a full-time staff of 9. And our budget is 1/10 of what most companies guess our budget is as well. And I share that because it's not about the resources that you have, it's about how you leverage the resources to make the difference that you want to see. And for me in particular, as I mentioned before, the ability to know that I'm making an impact and to see that I'm making an impact really rejuvenates me and drives me. And it's important to think about when you're sitting on these long plane rides, or you're up at 5 a.m. for calls, or up at 11 p.m. for calls. And sort of a non-stop global organization, especially when you then have significant issues that happen like anti-LGBT violence in certain countries, and you have to marshal resources from these companies and these leaders in a very quick fashion. It kind of gives you that energy and the ability to persevere.